Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to CAD Technologies. Today in this video, we'll be seeing how to make this component. As you can see, it's a medium level component which requires understanding of drawings regarding grooves, holes, etc. Now, coming to the first thing we do whenever we make a video is to analyze what angle of projection is the drawing in. This is actually in third angle projection with three views: the front view, the right view, and the top view. This is a very simple part component. You can decide on what is your 0, and you can start working on it. There are hidden views shown in the top view for better understanding of the rib feature or the stiffener feature, which is acting like a support, which looks like this. Also, there is a small groove cut in the front on the triangle shape that also is cut to a certain extent, which is shown in the top view. The right view is actually section view, which is cut at this location. This is shown to give us a better understanding of the internal view of your features or your holes. As you can see, there is a hole here and here as well. Similarly, there is a hole which is drilled over here. The depth is only up to 10. So let's begin making this model. Since we are working under part design, you can directly enter into part design. Now I am considering the center of the triangle to be 0, 0. So let's try to make a triangle in using CATIA as a software. Actually, there is a direct option when you use a polygon to do so, but I am using an educational version, so I don't have one. So I'm just trying to make a triangle normally, and then we can constrain it a little later. I'm trying to constrain the triangle. The angle between, of course, the triangle is 60, which we already know. Now, the overall length of the triangle is 90. We know that as well. Let's try to constrain this. I'll use my points as references and keep them as a midpoint to this line. Similarly, I can mirror this. Now I can use my infinite lines as a reference, which is actually passing through this point and maintaining perpendicularity with the line this way. Now we have to make sure that the line is coincident on the point. It's already coincident, I didn't have to give it. I can mirror this as well, and the intersection point will actually be the center. Let's coincide this intersection point at the center location. I need both H and V should be coincident. Now when I exit, this is your sketch. It is going to ask you how much do you want to add, because you're using a pad command. The distance is actually given in the section view, which is 15. So you can simply change that to 15 and say OK. This is your triangle. Now between this circle and the triangle, there's a small support which is here. Let's try to make that and then finally make this support, which is of 5 thickness. So on the right view, I have the particular shape. So I'm again trying to use pad because I need to add material, and I'm trying to go into my right view here using these as my references. Let me start making the sketch. Sketch actually goes this way, arc and then straight. Now we do know these distances which are already given. The distance from here to here is actually 20. So I'm just taking that as 20. The arc is 15. It's right beside it. Now the overall length is actually 25 from this end. That is, from this end to here is 25. I can show that to you once after I finish making the measurement. This is the 25. Now we do have an offset for this. So let's try to take that as well. You can see it over here. You can see the same option. Let's try to take an offset for the complete feature up to 10 and give the distances as well. Say this is 10 and then maintain tangencies maintain tendencies. I'm just trying to constrain them and make this vertical as well. And this is horizontal as well. This is in the other direction. And it should be in line with this. So let's try to take a line and trim off whatever is not necessary. This is your profile. Now we can see okay, the distance is missing, so let's try to give the distance in between these two, just 10. And these two should be concentric, of course, so let's try to give they are already concentric. The distance between these two should also be 10. This is your constraint profile. This is supposed to be added till 40. As you can see in the sketch, it's supposed to be added till 40. I'm doing mirror event, so I'm only giving 20, so it can add both the sides as 40. This is understood over here and over here. Since there are various dimensions shown, I have taken it this way. Now, we do have a circle which is actually starting from a distance of 40 from the front face, that is this face. We do not have a reference, so we'll take a plane at a 40 distance. On that plane, we can add this feature which is a circle. So, taking that particular reference, on this I'd like to add the circle. Now, we know the distance from the base actually from this end to this end is 120. And the diameter of the circle is already given as 56. Now this circle is supposed to be added only up to 60, so we can just change the dimension and give it as 60 as you can see. Now there is a support with a different thickness as you can see here. This is the support. To do this support, we have to do the rounds before and then do the support because the support lies on this round. So let's try to give the rounds first. Sometimes it's required to do few features before itself before working on the other commands. So I do have a stiffener command. It's from the side, taking this as my front view. I'm using this and this as my references. This is the first reference which I'd like to use, and this is the second reference which is a cylinder which is of this reference. Now there are a combination of arcs actually. So since it's typical given, I'd actually like to take it that way, this way, and then try to maintain tangency with the base. Similarly, I have another arc which is going from here, coinciding over here and maintaining tangency as well. It's maintaining tangency here and here too. Now the dimensions for this is 40. Let's try to take that as 40. And the thickness for the same is given as 5. So once I exit, it starts to begin to make the support. The thickness is 5. Let's try to give 5 and see. This is here. There is also another addition of material on the top of the cylinder as you can see, which is at a distance of 32. But I do not have a plane there. So first let me try to take an axis. You get the axis in the center. Now I want the plane passing through the axis and parallel with the line. It should be in this rotation as you can see. So once I say OK, you'll obviously be able to see the plane. From here, I'd like to take the plane at 32, which is already shown over here. So I'm taking it as 32. On this plane, we'll again add material as you have already seen. We know the center, which I have already taken the axis. So I'm just trying to give the dimensions here and start maintaining the center. The actual distance from the center to this is given as 32 and the diameter of the circle is given as 24. Once I exit, you can see it starts adding the material, but I want it to add in the reverse direction and up to the immediate next surface it can find. As you can see, that is your added portion. Now, last but not the least, we have to give holes, but before that, let's try to make this groove, which is here. We can use the front or the top view, it's up to you. I'm just trying to use the front view because it's a little more easier to maintain symmetry and stuff. So I am just trying to use lines and then mirror it later by using my references. And then I'm taking a line here. Mirror the same line onto the opposite side. And we already know the distance between both of them is 15. And the depth is 3. So let's try to close these. There's also an arc at the bottom. So let's try to take the arc at the bottom as well. And exit. Now, we have to cut this material to only a certain extent, which is shown in the top view and which is 3. Now we can start drilling our hole slowly because we do have a hole on this face. That's why I have done it this way. Now let's try to take a sketch first to make our points because all are concentric. So I'd like to make a point and then maintain concentricity with this. So I can mirror this point onto the opposite side, but I need another point at the bottom. So let's try to make that point at the bottom and then maintain concentricity with this as well. The holes are supposed to be drilled at these locations. You can directly select hole, select the point and the face by using control. It gives you the parameters. It's actually a V type, so I'm just taking it to V bottom. Diameter is 10, depth also is 10, is already given, so I'm just going to say okay. This can be patterned using our user pattern because we already have location set for it. I'm saying okay, it drills this way. Similarly, there's a hole in the center. You can directly select the axis and the face as well. We do know that it is up to next, but the diameter is shown here, which is 30. You have to give it up to the next surface and you can say, okay. You cannot give this hole before drilling this because this is relying on this. So you can now give this feature and maintain concentricity since I do not have an axis. You can use the axis command to directly create axes. And the diameter for this is actually 12. So let me try to take 12 and give it up to next. This is your final model of how do you make these kind of features and understand the drawing. The difference is this particular one is a 40 which can be understood over here. The rib is only thickness which can be understood in the top view. We do have furthermore advanced level of trainings provided at our location. If you're interested, you can contact us. Our details are given in the description video. Meanwhile, please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll keep posting more tutorials. If you want to learn something and you want a tutorial on that, you can comment as well. Thank you.